Free mind, you crazy for this. Soulful. It's like our responsibility to make us feel something. You know, to make people feel. Make people feel what we feeling. Hey, yo.
Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show, a show that we have been doing for, 100 and almost 70 weeks or something like that. Show takes place on Sunday night because it's an opportunity for us to get the week started off right, and most of us, at least here in the U.S., probably have tomorrow off, so fingers crossed that I get to sleep in for an extra 15 minutes tomorrow. It'll be amazing. It'll be amazing to be able to sleep in. I had 2 sick dogs and 1 sick kid. And so last night was not the best night of sleep for me. I did, however, take a nap today. I took a nap and it was a wonderful nap. I woke up and had a cup of coffee. But like I said, I could definitely use a little extra sleep. Fingers crossed that magic gets to happen tomorrow. Want to welcome you guys to the show. We are going to talk about something that is really awesome, something that I don't think that we get to talk about enough. We talk about all kinds of crazy stuff happening in the world of comics and collectibles, just bad stuff happening. Tonight, we are actually going to talk briefly about something good that has actually happened. I'm also going to give you guys a preview of some of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. And then we're also going to be talking about some things that are hitting TV right now that I am all excited about. I am all excited about some of this stuff. So we're going to talk about that and a lot more stuff. Before we get going, I want to say hello to the comic book soldiers that have joined us this evening. What is that? 4 6-year-olds never let you say, brother, that's your fault. Okay. Hey, I don't know what to tell you, brother. That is all your fault. Between my 2 kids and my 2 dogs, man, there's no such thing as sleeping in, right? People are like, hey, what time do you get up? Is it different on the weekend versus? No, I get up at 6 a.m. every single day. No matter what's going on, I'm up at 6. That's just the way that it is. So, yeah, Quadad, I definitely get it, brother. I definitely get it. No doubt about it. Thank you. If there is one thing about me, it is consistency, my friend. I am a huge fan of that. If I commit to it, it's going to get done. And so I appreciate, man, people allowing me to be part of their week. Sometimes every single day, sometimes twice a week, whatever it happens to be. I'm very thankful for those people that have chosen to integrate me into their night. Brother, I'm not sick. Child. I even got a workout in. Okay. After my nap and my cup of coffee, I went and did a little bit of a shoulder workout. I feel very, very good. Yeah. So I'm not coming down with that sickness. No way. Planet Arizona Comics, how you doing? I am doing fantastic. I will tell you, I love my dogs. But when pets get sick, it is like the worst thing ever. It really is the worst thing ever. There are things that come out of them that just I would rather deal with 4 6-year-olds than a sick dog, man. No doubt about it. Kingpin Comics is up in the house. This guy does a lot of my graphics for the channel. Shout out to you. We're going to be showing one of his graphics a little bit later in the show. Planet says, just got back from the Phoenix Con, our first con in 3 years. The vendors were jacking up the prices on trying to recoup all those lost dollars that they've had over the last couple of years. Yeah, man, I've been to a couple of cons so far this year, and I'll tell you, I was pleasantly surprised at the prices that people were actually charging. But every part of the country is different. Every dealer, every vendor is a little bit different. So it is what it is, brother. At least you were able to get out there and hopefully you had a good time. So Anthony, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. My man Neo, Rob, it is always good to see you, brother. Shadow, how you doing? Comic Crypto Stock is in the house. How you doing? It is good to see you. Scrolling through, Frog Brawler is up in the house. I'm used to Dog sickness is cleanup. Rather have that. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. I'm gonna be honest. Normally I am. This morning they almost got me. This morning, the sickness, it almost got me. Okay, I had to take all of the bedding out, all of the crate outside. I had to hose everything down. I had to air the house out. Like it was just a travesty. It was a travesty. I don't ever. They've been out there. We've been basically keeping them outside. Like whatever you have, you go outside and you let that be free in the open air. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. I'm scrolling through. Let me see. Sometimes you can make deals at cons, just like Reggie said. You need to ask the vendors and start a up, man. Have a conversation, brother. Have a conversation. You're not supposed to hold. Don't get a DCFS over here, brother. Okay. We don't need that kind of trouble. We don't need that kind of trouble over here at the house. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And this is why we don't have we have allergies too. And that's the thing. I've always had allergies. I've always been allergic to dogs and other things, but I still consistently just deal with it because I love pets. You know, I really do. I love animals. And so it's just nice to kind of have them around. We spent a lot of time outside today, and the whole family is taking allergy medicines because, and I say medicines with an S because sometimes you need to take multiple things because there's multiple things that create allergy attacks. So I take several different kinds of medications. And then we burned a fire today. I had all of this amazing debris that we have collected. As you guys know, we've been cutting down a lot of trees and stuff here at the house, a lot of shrubbery. And I burned a ton of stuff today. And you know, that stuff is in the air. I even had on an N95 mask and still, had the meds on board to try to make sure that I was being as protected as possible. Found a baby snake underneath the debris. And it's like, I'm very glad that I cleaned out all of that shrubbery that had been accumulating for a couple of weeks, because that's just a breeding ground for just all kinds of stuff that we don't need around here. So my dog Nixon is of course sitting next to me. He's loyal, brother, but Nixon, oof, fingers crossed. He's a cute dog. He is a cute dog. Cute comic book dog, no doubt about it. No, brother, we keep the fire far away from the house. Far away from the house. We actually had a fireman here at the house today. Came by, had a handlebar mustache. He looked every bit of a fireman. You know what I'm saying? When he showed up here to do some things for me, we had a good conversation about having him do a project here at the house for me. And he said he was a fireman. And I was like, yeah, you look like the fireman. You look exactly like a fireman. And that is not a slam. That is not a slam in any way, shape, or form. People should look like what they look like. I went to an indoor playground on Friday. My wife took the kids to an indoor playground. I get to the playground, and this is a indoor playground / cafe. I was so excited because a lot of times if you guys have kids, you know, these indoor playgrounds do not have, adult things like caffeine, which we need to stay vertical, right? So I get there, I go up to the coffee bar, I order my coffee. The guy looks at me and he says, "Where do you work?" And I kind of looked at him like, I work at home. And he looked at me and he's like, "Oh, you look like a police officer." Greatest compliment ever. Anytime someone says I look like a police officer or a military person, I take it as a compliment. Shout out to all those people that serve, regardless of where they serve or how they serve. Shout out to all of those people. And again, I take it as a compliment. Anytime somebody says that I look like a police officer, I think that is a very, very good thing. All right, let's keep it moving. I want to talk a little bit about, let me give you guys first the rundown of the content that is going to come out. I got so excited. I get so wrapped up in the dialogue. We have some good stuff coming out this week. We are going to be dropping a podcast on Monday. The podcast is a replay of the Wednesday show. You can find the podcast on all of the podcasting platforms. I actually submitted the show to, I think there's two additional podcasting platforms. So again, if you have a preferred, if you search for Regie Collects, you should be able to find over 100 episodes of the show that you can take on the go. You can do some yard work. You can hang around the pool, listen to a little bit of Regie. If you're on the go, take Regie on the go with you. So a couple of really cool videos coming out this week. I was hunting in the 100K collection because, I occasionally get a free moment. I was hunting in the 100K collection and I came across some really awesome keys. There were a couple of bins. Honestly, I haven't been in these bins at least two of them since we moved in. Have not been in there since we moved in, and it's almost been a year that we've been here. Found some cool books, not just in those bins, but some other ones. Sometimes when you're looking for something and you're going in bins and you find some unexpected stuff, we found some keys. I'll show you guys those keys. I have a video coming out this week. How can CBCS dominate? How can CBCS actually dominate the comic book collectible marketplace? I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'll tell you, I recorded the video more than a week ago. I had some epiphanies since then. There may be a part 2. There could be a part 2 that is coming up because I've had some more epiphanies it was about a week ago that I recorded it, but had some more epiphanies as I was working on some other videos. I had some additional thoughts, but this one was already in the can. So it is going out there no matter what. This week it is dropping. How CBCS can dominate. We're going to talk about that. And then I'll also have a video. Typically we do a video where we say, buy these books. It's a really awesome video that Doug does a lot of the research for, where we basically identify books that people are not paying attention to, blue ocean comics that folks are not looking at, but they should potentially look at them because they might have them in their collections already. They may be able to find them in dollar bins, et cetera, et cetera. But this week, we're going to drop a video. Do not buy these books. And that is not reverse psychology. This is not me wink, wink, nod, nod. Go buy these books. I'm saying do not buy these books. And I'll be dropping that video this week. And then we're also going to be doing Comics Today. And I'm going to talk a little bit about part of what will happen on Wednesday for the Comics Today show a little bit later in the show. So one of the things that I mentioned to you guys before is that, let me read this comment. Perfect time for CBCS to step up with all the CGC hate. CBCS can dominate if they swap out their label and don't mess with their customer quality. I think, is that quality? I think that's quality. I think spell check got you there, or autocorrect. I don't disagree with you, brother. What I would say to you is that what is happening with CGC is not new. Pause. It's not new. Not new. For those folks that may be coming into the hobby right now, people feel like, oh, it's such an explosion of CGC hate. No, I came back into the hobby in 2017, the beginning of 2018. It was the same then. It was the same level of vigor and vitriol. And what I will tell you is that I think that there are several things that CBCS could potentially do. Will they do them? Time will tell. But anytime the first mover stumbles, it is an opportunity for someone else to rise to the occasion if they really want it. Cliffhanger for the video dropping later this week. All right. So we spend a lot of time occasionally talking about bad things that happen in the news, right? We talk about cases of arson. We talk about break-ins. We talk about burglaries. We talk about all of these things where people lose their collections. And we do this because it's news. It's news, but it's also a little bit of a PSA to say, hey, be on the lookout in case something comes into your local comic shop that doesn't feel right, doesn't smell right. Be aware of these things, or be aware that arson does happen. You may need to get some collectible insurance. Hey, if you have your comics stored off-site, there are burglaries in these storage facilities. You may need to get some insurance to make sure you're protecting your comic book collection. So that's like part of why we do it. But that's a lot of negative. I want to talk about a positive. Because this one is a little unheard of. And I'll tell you, I applaud this gentleman for doing what he did to recover his stolen comic book collection. Man who found his stolen comic books for sale online poses as a buyer to get his items back. This man ran his own sting operation, and I applaud him. I applaud him because I would have done it as well. And they're like, the police are like, you shouldn't do this. Watch me. Somebody takes my stuff. Thieves broke into several units at a storage facility in Niagara Falls in January and stole, among other items, $10,000 in comic books. I want them all back. A Niagara Falls man turned amateur detective, or Batman. He became a real-life Batman recently after multiple boxes of pricey comics were stolen from his storage locker. At the end of January of this year, thieves broke into several units at a storage facility including a unit that belonged to this guy, John. He said, my collection is something that I've worked very long to build and something I was very proud of. And I think many of us will probably say the exact same thing. We spend a lot of money on this. We spend a lot of time thinking about our collections, cultivating our collections, organizing our collections, and then someone comes and takes your stuff. He says, when I got the news that my storage unit was broken into, it was devastating to hear the culprit stole more than $10,000 in comics. After the break-in, this guy became Bruce Wayne. He became Batman. He checked out local comic stores, pawn shops, and scoured the internet in search of his stolen property. In February, he came across what he believed to be one of his missing comics listed for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Now, this is something we can all probably resonate. This will resonate. He says, as a collector, you become aware of what's yours, he said. He looked for markings, something I know that was mine, and sure enough, there was a posting of comic books for sale, and I knew that one of the books was mine because it had particular markings on the title of the book. We spend so much time staring at these books that we pick up all of these small defects and imperfections because there are imperfections and defects. He says he posed as a potential buyer, arranged to meet with the seller at a local local coffee shop to negotiate the sale. He asked the seller smartly to bring any comics she had, as he was interested in making an offer on multiple books. They showed up. The woman showed up with another guy. They had a suitcase full of comics. He takes a photo of the car and the license plate. He meets them at the door and he says, how would you like to handle this? And you could see by the expression on their faces, they thought that they were going to get money. Instead, he was holding his, he told them he was keeping the books and calling the police. They were both shocked, and then they were arrested. The guy Brandon, that was with the woman, was sentenced to 121 days in jail. I'll be completely honest with you, that is not enough time, because it goes on. This guy actually stole $5,000 in vinyl albums. He stole an 8-track player. Like, I don't even know where you find those things, but he stole a bunch of other stuff, laptops, all kinds of stuff, but he was sentenced to 121 days in jail. Clearly, that judge was not a comic book collector, because if he were, he would have thrown the book. No, that's a bad joke. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Mark for hooking me up with this. He sent this one over to me. I think it was earlier today or yesterday. I can't remember. He sent it over to me. I thought that was a fun article. I thought it was a fun piece of news, because so often we hear about the bad stuff. We hear about people's collections being stolen that are never recovered. This guy, John, he became Bruce Wayne. He became Batman. He found his comics. He recovered his stuff. I don't think he got all of his books back, but because I think the article goes on to say that he continued to kind of scour the internet looking for other things, because I'm guessing some stuff had actually been stolen or sold off. Records and comics, my kind of collection. I think this guy was like a crazy criminal, man. I mean, they said that they pulled up to the storage unit. They cut a hole in the fence, and that's how they were able to get in. But this guy, Brandon, who was the thief, has gone on like a spree. He's been stealing all kinds of stuff. But here's the thing. Let me see if I can find, because I saw somebody's comments about the thieves sometimes not being too bright. So let me find this section here, because let me see if is there in here. It's somewhere in here. I'm not able to see it. Here's the thing. The guy had face tattoos. The judge is like, the guy has no skills, no ability to earn a living for himself. He also had face tattoos. You're going to be a thief with face tattoos. Not the brightest thing. Did you guys hear about the guy? There was a guy that was on, I think it was on TikTok. He was like doing a lot of TikTok videos, dancing and stuff like that. He was out of Michigan, right? And this guy was like a cat burglar. He was like a cat burglar. He had stolen so much stuff. Do you know how he was caught? He was caught because of the gym shoes that he was wearing in the TikTok videos were the same shoes that they saw on surveillance. The guy was out there stealing stuff and was getting away with it and got caught because he wore the same shoes. Come on, man. Come on. Let me see. I'm scrolling through. Remember the show World's Dumbest Criminals? Wonder why. Oh my goodness. Dropped his wallet at the scene. There you go. It's just kinds of crazy stuff. Hey, oof. If he had dressed up, that. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you show up to sell some stolen comics and the person you're meeting is wearing a Batman costume? Could you imagine? What do you do with it? Do you go through with it, or do you just get back in the car and just drive? Well done. Well done. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, you guys are so silly. Steven, hey, Steven, first time viewer. Brother, I'm gonna be honest with you, Steven. I'm gonna have a good weekend no matter what, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Our neighbors next door, my wife sent me a message as I was coming up here. They invited us over to come and let the kids swim in the pool and all that kind of stuff. So we may end up doing that. Even if I don't do that, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna have a good weekend. Even if I do nothing but stew in my own juices on my patio, I'm going to have a great weekend. That's how I'm rolling right now. But Steven, thank you for the super chat. Welcome to the channel. If you have not subscribed, Steven, look at me, Steven. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead. Just tickle the button, tickle that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and that way you won't miss out on any of the content that comes out from the channel. You gotta love that. How about this? Get a job. Get a job. Keep your hands off other people's stuff. It is super simple. Super simple. Get a job, earn a living, live within your means, keep your hands off of other people's stuff. Super simple. Reginald is in the house. It is good to see you, Reginald. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm scrolling through the comments here. It's like the criminals who record themselves on their phones. Man, I watch a lot of hip hop stuff, right? Oh my goodness. Hawaiian punch in your face. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you, man. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. I watch a lot of hip hop videos. I like that kind of stuff because I like rap music. I like gangster rap. That's my thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I also listen to classical music, a lot of classical music, especially when I'm washing dishes or if the kids are around, because you cannot expose the kids to gangster rap. That's just that DCFS will be called on you if you do that, or if you roll up to the school with the windows down and the gangster rap music playing. Probably not a good look. But I watch a lot of the hip hop stuff, and there are a lot of people nowadays, because they are so focused on trying to get insta famous, that they snitch on themselves. They are on the intranets taking selfies and reels and Snapchats and all this other stuff of themselves doing criminal acts with criminal paraphernalia. It makes absolutely no sense. You don't even need snitches. You just need to tap into somebody's social media and you can see all that they do. Not the brightest. Not the hold on. Who is that? Somebody said I would have gut checked them. Who is that? No, you can't hit a woman. You can't hit a woman. The guy did say, the guy that was able to recover his collection. For those folks that are coming in a little late, we are doing a little bit of a breakdown of a guy up in Niagara Falls, guy by the name of John, who had $10,000 worth of comics actually stolen out of a storage unit. He posed as a buyer, met the couple at a coffee shop, recovered his stuff, called the police. He was in this article says that he was ready. He was ready in case something popped off with the guy that was there. He was like, I was all ready for it, because you just never know. You never know what kind of stuff is going to go down. Tougher penalties on theft, lesser on drugs, says Matt. Scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. I'm a little behind. I think people are welcoming Steven to the channels. There you go. You did, brother. You did. I just gave a quick recap right there. So this guy John had about $10,000 worth of comics in a storage unit. As you guys know, those places are easy targets for people, especially if the storage unit doesn't have all the cameras and the keypads and all that other kind of stuff. But this guy cut a hole in the fence. He slid inside. He stole $10,000 worth of comics. He then, with his girlfriend, I'm guessing, I'm reading into this, actually posted on Facebook Marketplace that they had books for sale. This guy that had his book stolen by the name of John spotted a book that was in the photo as one of his books because of markings on the comic. He recognized his book. He reached out to the sellers. He arranged to meet them at a coffee shop. He took photos of their car, of their license plate. He grabbed the books. He called the police. They got arrested. The guy basically was sentenced to 121 days in jail. Said court heard the 28-year-old defendant and female accomplice pull up to the storage compound in a I missed that part. They stole a car to go steal comics. So they pull up to the storage compound in a stolen car, cut a hole in the fence to access the area. In addition to the comic books, they stole $5,000 in vinyl albums, an 8-track player, and a record player from another unit. This guy also pled guilty to several unrelated theft charges. In November of 2021, he stole a variety of items, including a laptop computer, a gaming system, and jewelry from a motel room. He pilfered luggage and backpacks from vehicles parked in the parking lot of that hotel room. And it says that they captured him on all the break-ins and the theft from the vehicle were captured by surveillance video, which showed the defendant, who has several face tattoos. That makes for a very interesting lineup. Then he says he has no skills and no way to make his way in the world other than stealing, which is unfortunate. Yet, Judge, you only gave him 121 days. 121 days. Enough? No, it's not. There you go. All right. So that is the quick rundown. Earlier this month, let me see, I'm scrolling through. It says Roma John, who is the guy, is still searching for the rest of his stolen comics, which include copies of Wolverine, X-Men, Daredevil, and Fantastic Four. So all the good stuff. No idea what issues these may be, what years, but again, $10,000 worth of comics were stolen. There had to be some good stuff in there, and at least he was able to recover some of his comics that were stolen from that storage unit. There you go. Used a stolen car helps provide a little bit of security for them. Police looking for the wrong car. So he had face tattoos, bro. He had face tattoos. Like he needed to put some makeup on his face. But again, it's like you compound, you went there in a stolen car to steal some stuff with face tattoos. Like all you needed was like guns and drugs in the car, like a kid in the car seat. Like just go all out. Just go all out with what you're doing, face tattoo equal career ender. Say it again. Say it again. It's a shame. Never get a face tattoo or a neck tattoo. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Don't get a face tattoo or a neck tattoo. That's tough. It's tough to come back from that one. Tough to come back. All right. So one of the other things that I wanted to talk to you guys about is something that I binge watch. I'm gonna be honest with you. I binged watch it. I at least went to sleep on it twice. Once yesterday and once like last night. I fell asleep on it, had to go back and watch a little bit of what I missed. But I've been binge watching Stranger Things. And I'm going to be honest, I missed this show. I enjoy Stranger Things. It is on season 4. I have watched every episode of every season, and I have enjoyed every single one of them. These kids are now like 30 years old. I mean, they're like 30 years old, and I don't care. I enjoyed it. I have to use the past tense because I watched all the episodes. I think there's 8 episodes. I watched them all. Yes. And I cannot wait for the next season because there has to be another season. They will not give me only 8 episodes and just go off into oblivion. So fingers crossed that there is another season. If you guys have not seen Stranger Things, I encourage you to check it out. If you've never watched it, watch it from the beginning. It is good. It's like 80s magical stuff, right? And it's less cheesy now than it was in the first season because the kids are now older. As I mentioned, they're not quite 30, but probably like, 25 and a half or something like that. But it's a little less corny. there is a lot that's going on in a lot of different places, as you can kind of sort of see from this image. No spoilers, but there's a lot of activity. There's a lot of activity, and again, this is a show that I've been watching for a couple of years now. Absolutely love it. So let me see. I'm scrolling through. The blasters are up in here. How you guys doing? I thought they were only releasing one episode a week, so I was waiting to watch the new season. No, bro. It's all out there. It's all out there for your enjoyment. You can just straight binge watch it. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Monday. There goes your Monday, bro. Frog Brawler. Monday's gone. Just write it off. Just be ready for Tuesday, brother, because this is your Monday right here. Stranger Things is going down. What is that? My neighbor mentioned it. Yeah, man, it is good. No spoilers. No spoilers. Wait a minute, 7 episodes now. The finale, the final 2 in July. There you go. Okay, Doug's on it. Doug's on top of it. I probably would have known that, Doug, had I not taken that nap, but I needed that nap, Doug. It was a good. I think I got like 30 minutes in. It was great. It's great 30 minutes. Great cup of coffee after I woke up. The final 2 episodes are like 4 hours in between them. Sign me up. Sign me up. Yeah, it is. I was born in 76, so I was very much around for the 80s, and there are some wonderful nostalgic moments in this show. We don't get as much of that in this last season. We saw a lot of that early on in like season 1, maybe even season 2. Not so much in this one, but there were a few moments where I'm like, oh yeah, that's very 80s, but just a good show. Good show about it. Scrolling through, you might be right. You might be right. For those that are coming in late, we were earlier talking about a collection that had been stolen, that had been recovered by a guy, and the person that stole the collection had a face tattoo. So that's why people are making these face tattoos. What did that say? Season 5 better just make movies. Hey, sign me up. Sign me up. I will watch it. Great 80s flashback, says Liger King. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Season 4 was peak 80s, says Clay. There you go. What is that? What did that say, Reggie? You should probably be a spokesperson for this. Something's missing there. You gotta fill in what's missing there. Planet Arizona, thank you for coming by, brother. I definitely appreciate you hanging out with us just a little bit. Enjoy the rest of your long weekend. Love how many video and audio cassettes are. Yeah, there was a lot of that, wasn't there? There was a lot of that. There were, I guess there were maybe more 80s moments than I realized. You're right about that. You're right. Because they're again, no spoilers. I'm not gonna do it. Let me see. Scrolling through. Okay, cool. So I'm all caught up on that. So the other thing that I started watching that I wish they had just given me all of the episodes at once, because I would have binge watched those as well. It is this, and this one may actually surprise a lot of people. What is that? You should not be a spokesperson for any show when you say, I don't know. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. There is nothing greater than a nap. I can be reading the best comic ever, and I will go to sleep. There are a couple of things that put me to sleep. Reading is one of them. And if I'm really tired and I'm watching TV and it's late at night, I'm going to sleep. I'm gonna just be honest with you, and that show will watch me instead of me watching that show. It's just the way that I work. It's just the way that it works. All right. So the other thing that I was going to talk about, that again, you guys are ahead of me, and I do not like it. I don't know who asked that question. I do not like it. Do not get ahead of the show. This is programming. Okay, you cannot get ahead of the show. Obi Wan. Whoo! This may surprise people. I like this one. I do. The Mandalorian still is top. Mandalorian is top. And again, no spoilers. Mandalorian, but in my mind, is one of the greatest, Star Wars things that I've seen. And that's not saying a lot because I haven't seen a whole lot of Star Wars, but Mandalorian is really good. Boba Fett was okay. Obi-Wan is kind of sort of in the middle, right? It was slow like Boba Fett, but it captured my attention similar to Mandalorian. even with all the dialogue and that kind of stuff, I still enjoyed it. I may actually go back and watch the first two episodes again, because they've released 2 episodes. I may watch them again because I think that there's definitely some stuff that I missed. But I enjoyed Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I don't know this actor's name. I have no clue what his name is. Ewan McGregor, I think that's his name. The guy can act. The guy can act. I love like his on-screen presence. I enjoyed the show. What they did that I thought was incredibly smart, and I'm very, very thankful for, they actually gave a backstory. They gave us, I can't remember how long it was. It was at least a couple of minutes that essentially recapped a lot of the Star Wars movies that led into this show. And I'm thankful for that because I've never seen any of the Star Wars movies, and they're all out there. I don't understand them. I don't follow them. I don't understand the history of them. Sometimes the voices and the names, they throw me off, and I cannot necessarily hold on to them and follow the story and really understand what's going on. I also, let's be honest, haven't invested the time, a whole lot of time to do so. But with Obi-Wan, they gave that backstory as like an introduction to episode 1. And that was super helpful because then episode 1 started and I was like, oh, I kind of sort of know what's going on. Super helpful, incredibly well done on Disney's part. Whoever idea that was, or whatever team's idea that was to do the recap, well done, because it provided a nice onboarding point for people, well, people like me that may not be familiar with all this stuff. The Obi-Wan first appearance, what is it, Star Wars issue number 2, I think it's been selling like crazy, and in anticipation of this show dropping, I have a feeling that comic probably will do well because this show is really well done. The show is solid, and I cannot wait to see what they come up with next. Does anybody know how many episodes there are in this thing? Because how many are coming? I want to know how many are coming, because Tina says I've only watched the original the original 3 Star Wars movies. Tina, have not seen those. I have not seen that. My sons and I choked down Revenge of the Sith. I haven't seen any of this stuff. So I definitely have to defer to you guys. Mandalorian is the best. Mandalorian is amazing. It is amazing. Great. What is that? 6 episodes. I think it's 6 or 8. What is that? Someone got a nice stack of Star Wars. Well done. So Master Blaster comes to GarageCon and we actually trade. We do a trade of, he got a nice run of Star Wars, and I ended up getting I think it was a Mark Bagley sketch. That was pretty cool. I'm a fan of Mark Bagley, so I enjoyed that. What you don't know, brother, is that I have three or four full runs of that. So you good with yours, right? I think I have like 3 or 4 runs of Star Wars, the original series. The 100K collection is deep. The 100K collection is incredibly deep. I'm very thankful for every single book. Only 6 episodes. That is ungood. Because again, the show is solid. The show is solid. I have a feeling that it's going to be well received by Star Wars fans, and hopefully those that are not Star Wars fans. My hope is that it's well received and that they actually do some more with it, right? So scrolling through some of the comments here. Peaches, how you doing? It is good to see. Eric Larson, thank you, brother. Thank you. It's been a while since I've been in the art portfolio looking at some of the stuff in there, but thank you for that. Scrolling through, man, I'm gonna tell you, thankful for it every time. So I had to protect it today, Trev. I had to protect it. There was a wasp in the garage that was attempting, I'm guessing, to build a hive in the garage. So I'm in there and I'm working out, and I see it, and I thought it went out, but then I see it again, and then I see it again, and so I'm like, okay, well, I guess I have to dispatch you now. So I'm watching it, and he's going inside of the comic book boxes, and I'm like, no, we can't have that. But so I'm like, how do I get the wasp out without damaging the comics, right? So, use a broom, you kind of swat them around a little bit, then you spray them with the spray in a way that does not get on the comics in any way, shape, or form. So he has been dispatched, and we now have to protect the collection from the wasp, because clearly clearly they like the boxes. Will they do it? They better. Here's the thing. They will probably do a second season if the demand for season 1 is good. If people watch it, if people, are passionate about it, then I have a feeling that they're going to do some extra seasons. Like The Mandalorian. I think Mandalorian was like a little bit of a test run. They threw it out there hoping that it would float, and it floated incredibly well. Boba Fett, I don't know. What is that? I don't have a lot of time to play with Obi-Wan. He dies 8 years from the start of the episode. Hey, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin it for me. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. I thought he would live forever. No, it's all good. It's all good. Scrolling through the comments here. All right. He wants to do a season 2. Of course he does. Of course he does. He's the star of his own show, and it's a dope show. But clearly, he doesn't have long to play the role because somebody just told me he dies. Dan says he's bagging and boarding while he's watching. That's what's up. All right, speaking of bagging and boarding, the very last thing that I wanted to hip you guys to is we with Kingpin Comics. Kingpin Comics made me a new banner for the website right there. We have a new banner promoting the fact that Isolation issue number 1 is coming in July. For those that don't know, this is a comic that I am self-publishing with Doug Bratton, who is in the room right now, and 3 amazingly talented artists from the Kubert School. We are putting this project together. We are publishing it ourselves, distributing it ourselves, marketing it ourselves, and this banner ad is my attempt to continue spreading the word about Isolation coming. This is a page on regiecollects.com, regiecollects.com/isolation, where there's some additional information about the various covers, a couple of interior shots of the comic. The covers are all in color. The comic itself is in black and white, in the tradition of a lot of independent comics that have come out. There's some really good stuff here on the page, including some comic shops that have gotten on board with Isolation. These comic shops have jointly agreed to buy probably close to 700 copies of Isolation between the 3 of them. JAF Comics in PA, Nirvana Comics in Knoxville. I think they have several locations in Knoxville. Third Eye Comics in Maryland and VA. They have 7 locations in basically the DMV area. And again, collectively, these shops have purchased about 700 copies of Isolation, and they are going to be available in July. So I wanted to make sure that I showed you guys this. We are going to be selling the comic via the website, but if you are in the vicinity of these comic shops, they will have them on hand. You can save yourself a couple of bucks on shipping by doing business with these 3 shops who have chosen to support the project. And I'm very thankful for all 3 of those shops for coming on board. Fingers crossed that we can get some other shops to jump on board and make Isolation available in various parts of the country. The other reason why I wanted to flag this for you guys, we are putting Isolation on sale on Wednesday. On Wednesday, Isolation will be available. More than likely, it will happen at the time of the live stream on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to tune in for that show. I still have a little bit of work I need to do between now and then, but I feel very comfortable that we're going to be able to make the comic available. Generally speaking, we have 3 covers. A, B, and C cover. We also have a premium cover. We are doing something a little sexy. We're going to have a cover with some embellishments on it that I think are going to come together incredibly nicely. And so in addition to the regular covers raw, we are also going to have blue label comics for sale and also yellow labels. The yellow labels by and large will be triple signed. They're going to be signed by the 3 people that you see on screen right there. All 3 are going to be signing cover A. Cover B will be double signed by Doug and myself. So you have a ton of options from raw books to graded books to yellow label graded books. So again, it's going down on Wednesday. We are very excited to finally make the book available. We had a meeting with the printer at the end of this week, and fingers crossed that the paper gods will shine favorably upon us. There's still a paper shortage, but we are doing everything that we can to get ourselves in a position to get this book printed and to get it out in people's hands in July. I will not commit to an exact date, but we are getting very close to making this magic happen. As you guys know, several weeks ago, we finished the interior. We have secured a couple of things for the internal pages. And then we also have the really awesome covers. And I will tell you, there are more surprises that are going to be coming. There's going to be some really cool surprises. There are going to be some pretty cool surprises that are coming. Man, you don't want to see my biceps right now, brother. You do not want to see my biceps right now. I did do a shoulder workout, so we do have a little bit of a shoulder pump right now, but the bis and the tris are a little lacking. I will ask my LCS on Wednesday to see if they would distribute the book. The thing is that we have some deals in place for local comic shops. Cover A is your general cover. Cover B and cover C, let me go to the page, are basically ratio variants, and the ratios are this. So on the left, you have cover A. In the middle, you have cover B, which is a 1 in 10. On the end, you have cover C, which is a 1 in 25. And then we also, as I mentioned, have another cover that I'll tell you about. That is a premium cover. It is a version of cover A. And it comes with some embellishments. So when you guys tune in on Wednesday, I will try to give you guys some additional detail. But for local comic shops that are interested, we do have discounts in place that we are offering local comic shops. We're also going to be providing them with some promotional material that will allow them to help spread the word locally in their area, and also potentially a giveaway item or two. We are working to make some magic happen, to make this first true comic book release from Swoldier Publishing a special one. And the team has worked really hard. Every single member of the team has worked incredibly hard to get us to this point, and I cannot wait to hear what it's like for them when they hold a comic that they created in their hands for the first time, because it's a special thing. It really is a special thing. So the premium is indeed cool. It is going to be cool. It really is going to be cool. So definitely excited about this. Scrolling through some of the comments here, scrolling through, scrolling. Thank you, Anthony. The team did a really good job. The team did a really good job with these covers. It was a collaborative effort. Yeah, cover A is going down. So again, one thing I will tell you is that we are going to, no, we're going to save that for Wednesday. I want to make sure I give you guys a little bit of some accurate details. So Netflix shows drops next, brother, please, fingers crossed that we can actually make that magic happen. That would be amazing. So let's zoom in. It's going to get a little distorted because this is the web version, but shout out Kingpin Comics. Kingpin has done a lot of stuff for me in terms of graphics, and he actually created the corner box. He did the corner box for us, and it turned out incredibly well. Shout out to you, brother, for making that magic happen. It looks good. And Adam did the overall trade dress. And we basically used Kingpin's corner box with Adam's trade dress design, and it married together incredibly well. I am very thankful for the team of people that surround the channel, because I don't have this talent. I don't have this kind of talent in any way, shape, or form. So I'm very thankful for these people. But again, stay tuned, because we are going to be going live hopefully on Wednesday evening. So there you go. All right. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Again, we have some pretty cool content that is going to be coming out from the channel this week. We have a podcast that is going to be dropping on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I found some keys in the 100K collection, so we're going to be doing a video where I show you what it is that I've actually found in the collection. I have a video, don't buy these comics. I'm literally saying, don't buy these comics, but I'm going to attach it to a bigger methodology, a bigger thought process that I think hopefully will help people. And in addition to that, we're going to talk a little bit about how CBCS could dominate in the graded collectible space. So, a couple of really cool videos that are going to be dropping out. Yes, all of the comics are black and white. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, but let's repeat it again for those, because I want to make sure that people are aware of this. The covers are all color. The interior of the comic is all black and white for several different reasons. First and foremost, the cost is tremendous for color, so we're doing black and white. Second, doing it in black and white is very much in style of the indie movement, if you will, right? If you think about The Walking Dead, and if you've been collecting for a long time, you go back to the 80s, a lot of indie comics were in black and white. So there's a couple of reasons why we are going to be doing it in black and white. So it also sets up, some other stuff to come a little bit down the road. Speaking of Walking Dead Deluxe, right? So there you go. Some cool stuff. But I think one of the great things is that the artist that was chosen for the interior panels does such a wonderful job creating a depth to her stuff. It's not just straight black and white. Like, there's shades of gray, there's emotions, there's tones that are all in that black and white grayscale that she plays with, and she does it incredibly well. And I think that the artwork is gorgeous. And like everything else, if people gravitate towards this, if people support the project, that will lend itself to us doing other things a little bit down the road. There you go. You see what I'm saying? We have a plan. Rest assured, there is a plan, and the hope is that we are going to be able to execute. We have a plan.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
We're not having trouble hearing you. All right. I should have wrapped it up. Yes, all covers will be available. Like, that is what I'm working towards, is making sure that everything is available. ABC, and then the premium cover, and then the graded versions will all be available. More detail on Wednesday, because I'll be able to show you guys what the stuff actually looks like. Yeah, man, she's all in the business. She's like, oh, Isolation's coming in July. Let me get my thing right. Never mind. Anyway, with that said, we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. As always, if you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.